This week, the Prospector parks. The Herald Angels sing. We ask quality assurance the tough questions like, which glitch? And Ben Lesnick writes my intro. All this and more on this week's Around the Verse.
Half a ship right now.
Got one. On to the next.
Shield at full strength.
Pretty much just engage and drive in a random direction. Because I was getting about ready to this thing. There's so much fire going on right now.
Well, I got all of those guys.
Good, because, like I said, half a ship.
Oh, a little bit of duct tape, you'll be fine.
A lot of it is duct tape.
Another Comare safe for now.
Hey everybody. What was that? Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Something's on My Face.
We're not cutting.
No. Hey, something's still on my face. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Around the Verse. I am Sandy Gardner.
I'm Ben Lesnick, and this is your weekly look at Star Citizen's development from behind the curtain.
Yep, I'm glad you said that. And Ben, what is the latest version of Star Citizen?
Well, there was no patch this week, so we are still on Star Citizen Alpha 2.3.1, which allows access to the Crusader Mini PU, about 30 flyable ships, who's arena commander, dogfighting, racing, capture the core game modes, hangar to walk around, ArcCorp to explore our planet-side development.
And tell us what's exciting that's coming up.
Well, our next big release is Star Citizen Alpha 2.4.
So what's so special about 2.4?
Well, 2.4 is probably our biggest release since 2.0. We had the transition from Arena Commander 2.0 back in December, and it was, night and day, people seeing what you can do in the game. We're thinking it's going to be about the same thing again with to jump to 2.4. It introduces the initial persistence, the shopping. It has Alpha UEC that you earn in the game rather than having to play Arena Commander or buy credits to the website. It's our next big step into making this a fully functional, internalized MMO.
And we'll also be saying goodbye to the holotable for now.
Yes, we know you all are going to miss it so much, but the holotable is going out for a while. It's going to be replaced with a system in which you use your mobi-glass to configure your ship. Holotable will return in a much improved form down the line, but for now, the holotable is dead.
And our MISC Prospector is here and on sale right now. It has been very, very popular, our little mining ship, and we enjoy working on non-combat ships.
We do. It's always good to introduce more than just fighting to Star Citizen. So anytime we get to do a mining ship or a transport or a science ship, we really enjoy it. But the Prospector does seem to be going really well received. People are loving the design and just kind of the idea of being a single person mining in the Star Citizen universe. It's all come together really well. We've got a Q&A on the site, went up yesterday. You can check that out for more details about the ship and its role. And we'll have another one tomorrow. So get to the forums, ask your questions, and they will be considered for inclusion. And if you are a subscriber, be sure and check out the Vault. We released the first set of the very, very initial Prospector images that is where it came from. It evolved very rapidly. The guys at Foundry 42 did a great job reacting to criticism and continuing to update it. But go check out where it started. It was very orange.
That was a big mouthful. And it's patch time. I feel like a tease because it's not 2.4 patch time. It is merchandise patch time. These. Misk for your prospector. Aegis. What have you got? RSI?
I've got Drake and RSI.
And Anvil Aerospace. So these are in store today for subscribers and tomorrow for everybody else.
Yep, these are going to be, I think these are going to go quick.
And if you want to catch up with some Foundry 42 devs in July, then there is BritizenCon, which is being organized by a bunch of UK-based Star Citizens. And here is the link to check it out if you would like to go.
BritizenCon.uk. That is July 23rd. It's not an event run by us, but we're going to send some folks there. Seems like a really good group of fans trying to get Star Citizen backers together.
And now let's check in with our studios from around the world and find out what they've been up to.
How are you doing, guys? My name is Rennie Vasquez. This is
Colby Schneider.
all right. So we're saying hello from the LA studio. We have in the news actually today, actually this week, a couple of weeks I think now. It's basically like we've been working on the Caterpillar for art. We got some really cool concepts. We can't wait to show you guys for the Dragonfly. We have the Buccaneer that's been going. Design team here has been supporting with the with like those concepts and everything, and with the white box for the Caterpillar. And a lot of people are like waiting for a bunch of these ships. And then we also have the Reliant that kind of saw the hangar last time. And then this new patch, we're going to be showing hopefully some flight ready stuff so you guys can check it out later. If anything, we have stations also going on. Engineering has been kind of steadily pushing on the item 2.0 stuff. So what have you guys been doing?
QA have been working on 2.4 steadily.
How's that coming?
It's coming along. It's coming along. I think people are going to be happy.
Nice. Anything you want to share? Like
some
look forward
promises
to?
making. Persistence is a big thing. So we're going to have a lot of modifications to the hangar. Some big changes coming up. I think players are going to be happy the way things are working in the hangar. Ships mods, port modification, that kind of thing.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Starfarer should be flying pretty good.
That's awesome.
Been working on that quite a bit. Excited about it. General ship tuning a little bit here and there, just in general. Some ships are getting little tweaks.
Tweaks here and there. Cool. Well, that's what we got for LA. If anything, see you guys in the verse.
Hey guys, Jake Ross here, producer of the Austin Studio, and I'm here with you this week to talk a little bit about what's going on in here in Austin. So first off, I want to talk about port modification a little bit. You've heard me talk a little bit about that in the past, but I want to talk about the stuff we're doing to the hangars themselves. We've made the app. You can actually go in and use the app in the Mobiglass to change and customize your hangar. But we actually have to make some changes to the hangars themselves to allow for that. So we've already revamped the hangars on the back end side, but now we're switching out the item spawners and the hangars with what we're calling item port entities. And what this will do is this will allow us to actually interact with these little interactor nodes on the item ports themselves, so that then the Mobiglass list will spawn with items that you can actually put there. We're putting types and subtypes associated with each of those item ports, so that the poster can only be on an item port of type wall, or something like that. The fish tank can only appear on an item port of type surface. So we want to make sure that that we give you guys the creative control to customize the hangars how you want, but it's still got to make sense within our universe. So we can't allow you to put a fish tank up on the wall. Sorry, it's just too big. So same thing with the ships. We actually are spawning or creating the item port entities in the hangars for the ships, so that similar to how it goes now, if you spawn a constellation, the other smaller item port for the smaller ships go away. So you can't spawn a Hornet and then put a constellation on top of them. You have to. The constellation will cancel out the other ports around it. So we're linking the item ports up and setting up the hangars that way. So I talked a little bit last week about the try-on camera for shopping. so that when you actually go to purchase something, before you purchase it, you can go to try it on, and you'll zoom out and you'll see yourself like with the clothing or the armor. Same thing with the weapons, where we have an inspect mode where you can actually go into inspect mode and they show the character, inspecting the weapons before you buy it. So that's in progress. Aiming to wrap that up this week, so we'll get to see a little bit of that, which is cool. We're also looking ahead, way far ahead, to 12 months of shopping. We want to, now that we're getting shopping ready to release here pretty soon, we want to actually kind of put a plan in place for, okay, what kind of shops do we want to bring online for the rest of the year? What kind of content do we want to be able to put in those shops, get in your guys' hands? So we're in the planning stages of that. So that's we'll kind of have a roadmap in place for more shops here in the near future. Lastly, I want to introduce a couple new hires here. I won't introduce them here on camera, but hopefully you'll see their faces soon. Andy Anderson and Nathan Howard are both two new members of the DevOps team here in Austin. They'll be under Ahmed Shaker, who some of you guys know, and he's very active on Discord and things like that. So Ahmed was in desperate need of some more support, and we're getting it to him now. We've had a couple new hires here, so we're ramping those guys up this week as well. Yeah. So happy to have those guys on board. Cool. So yeah, that's all I got for you this week, guys. Thanks. See you around.
Hi everyone, this is Mickey over in the UK. So this week I've been working with the character art team in both the UK and over in the US, and we've been looking at a lot of the hairstyles and the clothing that's going to go into the game. In particular this week we've been looking at Sophie Wu's haircut for Squadron 42, and hopefully we'll be able to put that in the PU eventually, so that's all pretty exciting. The clothing, we've got a lot of clothing going on. We've got, basically each race has their own set of clothing, so there's stuff for people of Earth, Terra, and there's the Frontier, Vandals, and they're doing like society classes as well, so each one has got a set of those, so there's a lot of clothing going in. And my job basically this week has been to take these assets and try them out in the game, so that's the like QA side of stuff that I'm doing. So yes, that's what I've been doing this week. As for the character art team and production, they are planning a shoot for next week, which is a performance shoot, and they'll be doing the facial captures of the actors that haven't already been done, so they'll be doing that. They'll also be shooting some remaining scenes for Squadron 42, and they'll be doing more mocap, so any additional animations they need, like going in and out of ships, stuff like eating, drinking, all that sort of thing. That'll all be done in the shoot next week. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'll see you in the bus. Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. I work in Frankfurt. Give you a rundown on the team this week, at least most of the guys. Starting off on the weapons end, they're working on some remaining artwork for big plasma weapon, addressing some feedback and additional blocking out the mesh on a concept that just got approved, a final concept. It's part of the pipeline. Obviously, things go, you think of the functionality, then it goes concept, and then it gets blocked out, and then they refined and so on. Also working on final textures for a big laser cannon. Yeah, looking pretty cool. AI, covering most of the stuff that we've already discussed over the time. These are kind of big, long tasks that are going to take a while. They're going over metrics again, having discussions on those to make sure all the metrics between design and art and level and all those are going to work with what's being spec'd out. Working on the workflow settings for usables, looking at bugs, obviously more on subsumption, because subsumption is huge as far as the life of AI and the variety that we're going to get. Also the unifying properties with usables and interactors, so we can limit the amount of data entry we have for DataForge. and optimizations. I think I maybe already mentioned that. On the engine side, some discussions on stuff that we haven't just revealed yet, so I can't just yet. And I know that's always a little crappy. Oh, Brian said stuff, but he didn't say anything. So sorry, but all things will come in time. Looking at performance and optimization, always looking to make things more efficient and run smoother. VSync support, more progress on the procedural planet tech. Not only on the general tech we have, but on the atmospherics. Getting really cool looks on those, which is awesome. Also working on ship and player planetary alignment for those. With these planets as large as they are, they definitely come with some unique challenges, but we're able to separate each one and tackle them, and we're making great progress on there. Physics grid, always working on physics. There always seems to be edge cases that come up on those and bugs. Still doing work on facial, dialing that in to get it to be exactly where it needs to be. So on and so on and so on. Pushing over some stuff, but it's some of the detail is extremely important right now. VFX, working on some bugs for 2.4, which crept up. They started prototyping here some effects for the high-tech weapons, because they'll have a different, unique look to them, which is pretty cool. On the cinematic side, we're prepping for a shoot that's coming up starting next week. I think we'll be shooting for a couple of weeks out in Ealing Studios again. Myself and Hannes and Judith, who's our new senior cinematics producer. We were all in the UK last week meeting with the team there, talking about blocking of characters, reviewing the scripts with the writers and so on, and making sure everything's where it needs to be. So when we get there, that we'll be fully prepared day one to just get rolling. That's about it for the team. I know I passed over design stuff, but I'm just trying to kind of condense it, and I'll jump more on design next week. As far as kind of overview as well, we also have Steve Bender, animation director from the US, from the LA office. He's here. He's been here for a couple weeks working with the team here and also close with the UK. So it's good to have him here. And we also have Chris here this week for a few days. So he's actually in a meeting right now with design. They were meeting all day yesterday on the planetary tech and that roadmap, and when you guys will see a little bit more and when you'll be able to feel a little bit more and so on. So thanks again for all the support, and you'll hear from me next week. Cheers.
What's this? We're getting a comm link from the team at Drake Interplanetary. It's the latest on their data runner.
Let's check in with Josh Coons to see how the Herald is coming along in ship shape.
Hey everybody! On this week's episode of Ship Shape, we're sitting down with what's your title, Josh?
3D artist.
3D artist, Mr. Josh Coons out of our Austin studio. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good.
We didn't rehearse this ahead of time. Now, Josh is normally out of our Austin studio. He's here visiting in LA. We do these syncs from time to time because for all the Skype conversations and all the emails, sometimes there's nothing better than face-to-face meetings. So you're here in town, and currently you're working on the Drake Herald.
Correct.
All right. Now, the Drake Herald's we've seen work on the Drake Herald for some time. Like we began building it last year.
Yeah.
And then it got put on hold while other things were prioritized. But now, the wheel of development has swung back around. We're back to working on the Drake now, and that's fallen to you.
Correct.
So, what can you tell us about the Drake Herald and what you're working on now?
Drake Herald. We did Constellation. Right after Constellation, we went straight to Gion Scout. So, significant size decrease. So now, this one will be my first solo venture ship. So I'm doing the whole thing, interior, exterior. Okay. Drake Herald is a technical single-seater, but you can bring a friend along for the adventure. And it's It's a data gatherer, transporter, the data runner is what I'm calling it.
Now, where was the ship left at when you came aboard it?
So it was, as far as like a block out, it was pretty fleshed out. There were still some unsolved issues with the ship, and some functionality was missing as well. I had to add that in and start refining it down on the higher poly count side. And when I say that, I mean the higher poly count isn't utilized to the best. I needed to push the polys out to where the player can see them.
Gotcha.
And we had some metrics issues, making sure everything's in metric, so everything works. You can climb into the ship, you can get in the seat, you can swivel in the seat without cutting your kneecaps off, all that good stuff.
It's one of those things where when we started building it out, we knew this much about how to make ships, and now that we're back to it, we know much more about making ships. So that's one of the benefits of sometimes waiting to build a ship is you end up learning a lot more along the way, and you can apply those lessons to the building of the ship.
Yeah, so this is part of our pipeline now and this is the stage 1, and we call it the white box. Second stage is gray box, and in white box, we don't go overboard. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now, because I already started out with something that was fleshed out a little bit more, this is a whole lot more detailed than what a typical white box would look like. But the white box affords us time. It saves us a lot of time in terms of when design has a problem, or if something doesn't fit, or the metrics are off, we can change and iterate more quickly and with less wasted man hours when something needs to be changed, which is good for everyone involved in this process.
Gotcha. So what are some of the things you've had to do here in the white box space?
So one of the main things that was requested was the main cockpit outer hull shape. It was a little too needle-nosed, so I have pulled it out and gave it a more interesting curved shape. The interior was cramped, which affected the exterior. So to get the interior metrics, for instance, there's a console in the middle of the ship where someone can sit, but if the pilot wanted to get behind him and go back towards the back of the ship, he didn't have enough room, which meant the exterior hull needed to come out wider. So the ship has been widened by, I'd say, about 5 to 10%, somewhere in there.
Okay.
That pushed things out, so that it changes the angles, so all those have to be adjusted. The landing gear was just not, it wasn't enough for a ship of this stature. And this is a good example of what White Box Geo should look like. So very simple, very easy to change if something messes up. We do our block-in animations, so we make sure everything is going to work. Not the final animation.
Yeah.
The animation team will get their run at this and polish it out and make it look even better than it already is. There's still some functionality as far as our data modules on the side still being worked out, so that is roughed in, and I'm leaving that alone until things are finalized.
Okay, that looks like a really elaborate bicycle lock.
Yeah,
Like
that was actually
your thumbs and you select the combination.
That was actually brought up before. Is that does look like a bike lock for a combo.
That's how we keep your information safe. It's by a gigantic combination.
It's
lock.
the best encryption of all time. The biggest thing that wasn't implemented that needed to be implemented was and I'm just calling it the satellite array for now. So for the gameplay of transmitting deep space or receiving, it needed to deploy this satellite array, and we had many concepts on what that should look like. So waited for final say. Roberts picked the one he liked, and I executed it and blocked in the animation for it. So you'll be hovering out in space, transmitting at about that stance right there.
It's like a data version of Death Blossom.
Yeah. The entry was not on metric. This is very important because you're dealing with a known, which was the ground. The ground has not changed, that's at a level. So when the ground is involved, you have a known metric, which is absolute ground. So that dictates the metric of entry and exit. This used to have kind of a small, like private jetliner-esque type fold-down stair, and it was not metric. Actually wouldn't work at all. So going back to the style guide for Drake, we pushed it back into an automated ladder, and then a slip-cover door.
Drake's a very utilitarian.
Yes, exactly.
Very just what works.
Yeah.
What do we need to get it to work, and then stop there.
How do we get them in there? Ladder, done.
Now, what are these inside the intakes here?
So those are another change. Those are upgrades from the previous design of the wing size 1 missiles, and we went with a size 2 and upgraded more missiles to that.
Now, do we know, were you part of the discussion of why they upgraded the missiles, or do you just, hey, they told me to upgrade the missiles, and I did?
So as far as how that came about, if I pull up a concept for you. So we had these concepts, and we had this little bit that you can see here, and I'd asked about it, and I'm like, are those missiles, or what are those? And I knew we had a wing missile, and this is why we white boxed. We white boxed out the metric for a size 1 missile. It is not at all this size, and it just looked like this little dainty accessory. Even smaller than what you see in this shot. It's so minuscule and small. So right here there's a gun mount now, and on the bottom, gun armament. They wanted the ship to be like super fast. The firepower as far as like guns, not maxed out, but it's got a good payload of missiles, and then it has a good amount of countermeasures, flare launchers, which have been proxied in back here. That's where they'll deploy. So I think 3-to-1 chaff and flare. So two flare and 6 chaff. So lots of countermeasures, and then you use these big bad boys to get out of those sticky situations.
Every time I look at this, I think about how people are going to use these as drag racers.
Oh yeah, that's another design intent.
Yep. It's like they may not be able to beat you on the turns, but on the straightaways, the Herald is going to haul.
Oh yeah. I was working on this, and I was like, this is like one of those. The first initial rounds of concepts, I was like, that doesn't look as cool as it could, and it literally reminded me of like a funny car. Just straight line. Let's go as fast as we can. And that's part of my mission for once I get past the white box, we go to the stage gray box, and that's where we start refining the looks of it, because the design's nailed down.
Now, you said you were working on both the exterior and the interior.
Correct.
Have you begun work on the interior yet?
Yeah, it's a little rough right now. There was some stuff there previously. I can pull that up as soon as Max is done saving. Isolate. So for the interior, we have Like I said before, we were having metric issues for how cramped it was. This will be the cockpit area. That is still being finalized since we have some new gameplay elements. We're figuring out how that affects the UI scheme up front, or if it will at all. So I've elected to hold back on that until an answer has been figured out. So entry door, there will be a weapons rack here that was requested, so I blocked out a space for that. We have our console, which is also being metriced out as well, finalized as far as how to look on screen, making sure everything's like visible within one FOV.
Yeah, that they're not just there to be cool; that they're actually
you're gonna be doing stuff there. The biggest problem was there was a chair here.
It came out into the hallway.
And I'd say this used to be about there. So not only could you not get by, but if you sat in the chair and went in, it would probably squeeze all of your intestines up through your throat from hitting that.
We call that emergent gameplay.
Yes, that's some good gameplay. So pushing back these server racks actually hold other gameplay elements. The what do you call them? The components. I had to make sure all those have their spots. So we've got some in the floor, some in the ceiling, some on the side walls. They all have to be accessible. This is a rack for another set, as is the matching on the other side. We've got your base
kitchenette.
Yeah, base kitchenette, microwave. I'm gonna have to spiffy that area up a little bit. All-in-one shower combo. Also, this is being metriced out. I prefer to spend my time making a ship look really cool and missiles and guns and stuff, and less on the toilet.
Right now, the shower's down on the toilet paper. This is a problem we had with the original Starfarer blockout.
Yeah. Do you pull or roll down? Which way does the toilet paper roll go? These are all decisions that have to be made.
Toilet paper goes over and down.
Yeah.
If you're an under, you're wrong.
I wonder if that's different per country.
I don't care.
We also had what appeared to be a couch. It appeared to be a couch in the back, and need to get that more sci-fi. So this little block here, that is the metric for a single bed bunk. So that's what that will turn into after I art it up. So yeah, that's as white box as it gets. Literally a box.
Literally a box.
It's actually not even a box. There's two sides missing to it. So that'll be where you sleep. Some cabinetry. Today I'll be doing some ceiling passes, finalizing where the ceiling's going to sit, and then as the information's fed to me on screen details, I will push-pull those where they need to be. And also, the most important part, the captain's chair, which I'm going to save for last. And that is the interior thus far.
Now, if I were designing this ship, and I'm the incredibly lazy person that I am, there would be a track down the entire center of the ship, and the captain's chair would just move from the front all the way to the toilet, all the way back. You could just go through the entire ship without ever getting out of the captain's chair.
We got a little bit of that. So you'll have, I think you'll walk to about yay, and the chair will slide back, rotate. You'll sit, rotate, comes back up and puts you in position, because it gets a little tight back here. Can't exactly walk around. And that's everything on a hidden, which probably makes no sense to anyone.
Well, hey man, Josh, thanks for taking the time to sit down and show us the Drake Herald.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, this is still a work in progress. It's not going to be in your hangars anytime real soon, but we are working on it. We got this guy on the case. Interior next year, man.
It's gonna be cool. This ship was not my favorite, and it is growing on me.
Yes, it does that. It does. It's this weird, ugly duckling that the more you stare at it, the more you work with it. It just gets you. Plus, at certain angles, it kind of looks like the brain bug from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, when I first started on it, I was looking at it from the front. I'm like, this thing looks like a tick. It just looks like a big tick that's full.
All right, I'm Jared Huckabee. That's Josh Coons. This has been Ship Shape.
There you go.
Everybody watch Witch Glitch now!
Hey there, and welcome back to Witch Glitch. I am Tyler Witkin, the community manager in the Austin, Texas studio, and I am joined today by Mr. Bryce Benton.
Hey guys.
Robert Gaither.
How's it going?
Jeffrey Bearded Peas. And senior animator and our special guest, Mr. David Peng.
Hi.
So we're always excited to do these segments, so let's waste no time and dive right in. Number 5. Whee!
Wow. Old private dancer. You spin me right round, baby, right round.
He totally stole it.
Apparently it's karaoke night.
I didn't even have to do it this time.
Number 4. Cockpit Mosh Pit. I think this one happened to you, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
This is actually one of David's animations, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, David, how was the motion capture doing this?
Daniel or Jay.
Number 3, breakdance. Again.
Easiest breakdance of all time.
Again with the spinning around in circles break.
Always.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't start off with singing again.
Corvillax is that way. No, that's that one. No, maybe, hold on.
It's a compass.
Right there you go. I don't know what's going on.
Number 2, like a boss.
This guy does not care.
Nope. Right inside Shadow Boys! Woo! This bug was actually awesome because the longer it went on, the more he hung off the back, and so we cut the video early, but eventually he was like standing on the back with one arm reaching back over to the wheel.
Wow. We should make this a way that you can actually ride your buggy.
Trick rodeo.
Yeah.
Gray cat riding.
You need to get a special chair attachment for
This is totally how I ride my sailboat.
Number 1. I'm out of here.
Yet another one of the ones that I found.
What is even happening?
The golf cart comes by and the ships are just like, nah, no.
And those were all the bugs for this week. We hope you guys enjoyed them as much as we did. We'll catch you guys next time.
Goodbye.
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 So, which glitch is your favorite?
I love all of them equally, apparently. But what I love more than glitches is our most valuable posters. Here's MVP.
Hey there, Tyler Witkin, Community Manager in the Austin, Texas studio, here to bring you this week's MVP. A big and long overdue congratulations to Engineer for his Star Citizen ship renders, most recently the Food Lancer Benny's truck. Engineer's content that he continuously puts out is fuel to the imagination, and I can't wait to see what he puts out next. So big congrats to you, you're this week's MVP. Back to you guys.
I still feel that I am the original Big Benny.
According to the writers, the original Big Benny was a pug dog.
But can a pug dog bring you ATV fast forward?
I think he can.
Be sure to tune in to Reverse the Verse tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Twitch. And do you like ATV and want to show us? Hit like and subscribe below.
With that, thank you. Nope. We would like to take a moment, though, to thank our subscribers.
We would like to take a moment to thank our subscribers.
Thank you, subscribers.
Thank you, subscribers.
No, if folks are familiar, the subscription program here, you be an Imperator or Centurion, it gives you a bunch of benefits, some ships you fly in the game, access to Jump Point and the Vault and so on. But what it really does is it provides us with the ability to do shows like this, do live streams and events, and we just want to say thank you. We really appreciate the support folks who choose to subscribe give us.
Yes, we do. It also provides our sets, and thank you as well to all of the fans who send in all of our stuff. And there's one more set being done, isn't there?
Yes, check in next week possibly for a new ATV. I'd like to give a shout out to Luke Barrows, a young citizen who I am told watches the show every week. If he's 5 years old, he watches with his dad. He said he recognized Ben Lasnick every week, so I thought that was fantastic.
That's cute.
So we're sure you're going to be a fantastic space pilot someday.
Well, he's definitely got the name.
Absolutely.
And with that, we would like to thank all of our subscribers again for making this show possible. We will see you next week on Around the Verse. Did you know that many of Star Citizen's developers are on social media? If you would like to follow Star Citizen on Facebook, you can find us here.
Or on Twitter, here.
And even Instagram here.
And for a full list of developers' personal accounts they're willing to share with the community, check out this link. You can find out what I bought at Amazon this week.
Star Wars stuff.
It was probably Star Wars stuff.